Ciao! Okay, so when we're changing a word from a singular to a plural form, we change the last letter of the word, and what we change it to depends on what the last letter is, the original last letter of that word is. So for example, with barco, we want to make it plural, so our general rule would be to change an O to an I. Now the problem with that is that we'll now have P-A-R-C-I, which makes the C-I at the end makes the ch sound instead of the k sound. So now, instead of having parki, we have parchi, which is wrong because it's not following the same pronunciation as the original word. Now the reason we add the H in there is because a CH next to each other makes that K sound, and it allows us to keep pronouncing the word with the original proper pronunciation. So instead of it being parchi, which would be incorrect, it would be parki, which is more than one park. The same thing goes for barca. For barca, we have a CA at the end of the word, which makes that k sound, or the K sound. When we change the word into a plural, we now have, we would have to change that A to an E, which would leave us with a CH at the end of the word, which would leave us with the ch sound rather than the k sound. So instead of being barque, it would be barchi, barche, which doesn't allow us to follow that original pronunciation. And so what we do is we put the H in to make that k sound. Now it's the same situation with lago and riga. So for lago, we would change the O to an I, which would make it actually change from a G sound to a J sound. So instead of being lagi, which is what it should be, how it should be pronounced, it would be lagi. When we add the H into the transition, it allows us to keep the J sound, the G sound, excuse me, rather than the J sound. As for riga, we would change the A to an E, because the word ends with an A, so to change it into plural, it would now end with an E, and that would make us, again, have that G sound. So when we add the J sound, excuse me. So when we add that H into there, it allows us to keep the original G sound that the word had, and so we can change from riga to righe, which would be the plural. And now for exercise 2, I parchi centrale, le strade larga, I compiti lungo, le idea chaotica, gli stadi vecchio, I vini fresco, le bombe atomica, le automobili antica, le amica comica, gli antici romano,